many things here. But hey, you'll find out. He's a good guy to work with. And, so let's get started here. You know what EasyScan is if you're joining us today. And if you do have questions, we'll open it up for some questions here in a little bit. So let's get started and go over what you want to do with it. Okay, I'm skipping over a bunch of stuff, telling you some history, but I don't think that's all that important. You're looking at EasyScan. You know what you want to use it for. We can give you other ideas to use it for if you'd like. Otherwise, let's get you started. So when you actually get EasyScan, how does it work, Joey? What happens first?
Let's jump right into it. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you guys real quick.
Okay.
And here we go. So the first thing you're going to get is an email that has your activation code in it. It's got to have a link there. So what you'll just want to do is go ahead, copy the activation code, click on the link, and it's going to take you to easymilegeclub.com. You're going to go ahead and let's paste in our activation. And away we go. So we're activated, and now we're at setup.
We do recommend that you use Google Chrome for your browser. EasyTally works best with Google Chrome. So if you're not using it, please consider downloading it. It'll make your life a lot easier.
Yeah. And just so you guys, we can't hear you guys right now. At the very end, we'll turn on the volume so anybody can ask questions.
Right.
So we'll open that up at the end. All right, so here we are, school info. A lot of this is going to be generated by us when you receive it, but go ahead and feel free to edit any of this information. The number of enrolled students, don't worry about it right now, but if you do happen to know, that's great. If you don't know, you can come back and do this later. The real reason why it is asking you that is so it has something to base the stats off of for participation numbers, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as all that looks good, you're just going to go ahead and hit the next button.
Now, don't worry about it. If you do mess something like that up, you say, oh gosh, I didn't put the right number in. Everything in EasyTally, EasyScan is editable. You can always go back and change that. All right? Right there, you can do it that way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or later on, once we get further on, we'll show you another way to fix it too.
Yeah.
Okay? All right.
So we get a lot of questions about this step here, program. This is just going to be the dates of the period of time that you want to collect data. So a lot of people, they'll call it Mileage Club 2019-20. Some people, they'll have it set up as morning mileage. Another thing that we see is lower elementary versus upper elementary. So you can have as many of these programs as you need. It's going to ask you which program you're using each time you get there. So I'm just going to go ahead, and this is going to be my 2019-20 Mileage Club.
And this is how we allow you to have different groups of children scanning for different programs. For, again, like Joey said, you can have a morning club, you can have an after-school club, daytime club. We have teachers that have their own club set up for their rooms so that they can do Run Club with just their room.
Right. One important thing is when you're selecting the start and end date, go ahead and select the day before you actually want to begin. That'll put it within an active range of dates. Kind of same with the end date as well. Don't make it end on the day that you're going to still be participating. Go ahead and put it out just a little bit, and then go ahead and hit create. And now you've got your first program set.
Mm-hmm.
Like we said, you can do another one. I'm going to go ahead and start from scratch on this one. And this one is just going to be my girls on the Run Club. And only those students will get added to this program. And again, go ahead and just set the dates a little bit out. And here you go. Now we've got 2 programs added.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll go ahead and hit the next button here.
Now we're at courses. And courses are literally the course you're going to run on or the track you're going to run on. But it doesn't have to be a track. It can be a track outside. It can be an indoor track. It can be inside the gymnasium. It can be the playground outside. It can be the halls of your school. Whatever your kids are going to walk on. Okay? When you add one, you're going to add your name.
Oop.
And then you're going to add the laps per mile. Again, don't worry about it if you don't know exactly how many laps make a mile. You can always measure that later and come back and edit this, okay? Before our Canadian friends, there are kilometers in there too. Okay, want to make sure I mentioned that today. You have your choice between miles or kilometers.
And then the scan delay, that's something we get often asked about as well. That is how many seconds you want the student to be able to scan their same card again. So if I come through, scan my card, I would have to wait 60 seconds again to scan my same card again, but Scott comes through, he's gonna be able to scan right away.
Yep. And then I will have another 60 seconds before I can scan again.
Exactly.
It's a way to keep kids honest, I would say, but really it's a way so they don't accidentally scan their card twice, get excited and throw it up there twice.
Yeah.
Okay?
And go ahead and set your units, and then, and there we go. So now we've got two different courses that we can potentially work with there. So
Now we'll go to the next thing, which are classes and students.
So this might seem like the most overwhelming part of this setup steps, but it's actually pretty simple, thankfully, now that we've added some copy and paste features here. So this is just literally the name of the class. So this could be Mr. Scott's class.
Mm-hmm.
For the teacher, I'm going to assign it none for now, but I do know that he teaches second grade. So I want to go ahead and create that. Now I've got an arrow next to the name of the class. Go ahead and click that, and you'll see copy paste students.
Yep.
Go ahead and click that, and this window is going to appear. And I've already pulled up some student names here. So let's just go ahead and put Mrs. Jackson's class in there. And all I need to do is copy that. Exit that one. And paste it in. Hit next.
And there they are.
You do not have to assign their genders. This is completely optional. If you want to do your reports male and female, you are able to, but it's completely optional.
Right. You don't have to do that. You can just skip right past that. And look, there's my class. A good bunch of kids.
And let's say you missed one, you got a new student, a
Yep.
slip handed to you. Go ahead and do. And there they are. You just hit create student, and that one you can actually type them in if you wish.
Yeah.
Just to give you an example real quick, we'll just do another one just to show you the process. Create class, find Mrs. Powers, copy paste. And so here's Mrs. Powers. Copy. Hit next.
There they are.
Add students, and there we go.
They're all
And
set.
you might have noticed Mrs. Powers was first grade. If I needed to change, just go ahead and edit school, save that. So yeah, pretty straightforward there.
Copy and paste really helps, and it will save you a lot of time.
Yeah.
All right, let's hit next and go on. Here's your terms of service. You can read all the way through all the legalese if you want. It's pretty straightforward.
Go ahead and do that. And now, oops, I accidentally stopped sharing our screen. Let me get back there.
There we go.
There we go. Okay. So now that we did the initial setup, really that is all that it is. That's the entire initial setup process. You see this edit my school button now. That is going to be a good place that you're going to want to always return to. All of those tabs that we were just in, they're going to appear here now as well. And you can go back and edit, add things to them.
Remember we told you about changing your students? Let's start with the first one, edit school.
Yeah, here we go.
Here's your school profile and you edit it. So say you decided you had 213 kids in your school. Put that in, hit submit.
And it's going to save.
It's
So you
done.
there we go.
Yeah. Now let's go on to awards. As always, we will tell you this. A real good way to motivate your kids is to make sure they get some awards. Some kids will run just to run and to get those miles. Other kids are going to need a little bit more. Fitness Founders was based on what's called the idea of the token economy. And that's a theory developed by a number of professors, including two of ours, the two who started our company. It says that people will work just as hard for a token that they can show off as they will for a paycheck. This works great with kids. It's worked elsewhere. AOL, believe it or not, got rid of their quarterly bonuses and went to a token thing, and it shot their productivity up when they were a functioning company. I have a buddy who worked there. He told me he used the same thing. Kids will go nuts for tokens, and they'll really work. It really motivates them. So in the awards section, we suggest using tokens. You don't have to, but make sure you're giving them some sort of award so that they know that they're making progress and they have something to work for. It will really motivate them. It'll make your job a whole lot easier. So let's take a look at awards and how you set them up.
And of course, we love toe tokens, like we said. So that was the first one that I added on there. Let's add another one. It can be anything. Let's say, congratulations from entire class. So this one student is going to complete their award. The entire class is going to go crazy. So here we go, save. That's pretty good motivation, I think.
So.
And there you go. So now I've got 2 awards added on there. You can continue on. You do not need to if you don't need that many awards. So we'll just show you kind of a brief way to get started.
Mm-hmm. So you got awards, and let's go to award levels. This is where you're going to set when they get those awards. So our class, I've got first graders. I'm going to want to give them an award every mile. Okay, that, you know, they're going to be running, 10 or 15 laps to get that. I want to award them so they continue doing that. So in my class, they're going to get that award, that toe token, every mile. We set that up. Now for the next award.
Let's save another one there, so we got some options.
Okay.
So number 2.
Yeah, let's put it at 2 miles. And what will they get?
Let's just go ahead and give them another toe token then.
Sounds good. And then once they've got, let's make it 6 miles.
There we
Okay.
go.
Then their award is they're going to get the congratulation from the entire class. Okay. So now those award levels are set up. And when they run, they are going to get that. It's going to track for them. And as it gets there, it'll tell you this is what they've won.
Yeah, and that's going to give them something to really aim for, push for, keep progressing through your program and really give it a life each time. Make sure it doesn't die out.
Yep. Yep. It keeps kids motivated.
Yeah. One thing that's pretty cool also that we'll show you real quick, let's do another one, is the certificates that are built into this. So you can actually choose a black and white certificate that'll generate for you at that 3 mile mark. So it's pretty neat.
At whatever mile mark you want.
Oh, yeah,
And those are unlimited. The black and white certificates, you can print as many as you want. We do offer color certificates. If you'd like those, you'll order those through us. The black and white ones, you can print as many as you want for those kids. Keep them moving.
Yeah.
Okay? All right, let's step forward to classes so you can see what's there. Remember, we added those classes before.
You can keep going. You can add another class. It's the same process, but that's pretty much the main functions there. Like we said, there is the edit class button there as well, which we'll come back to once we get down to users.
Okay, courses, we've done that. You can add more courses. Devices is the next thing. Now this is where you're going to have your iPhone, your iPad, or your Android device, whether that's your phone or a tablet that functions with Android. What we recommend is when you set this up, when you download the EasyScan app, so that's the EasyScan 2 app, you're going to want to name your device. Otherwise, it's just going to pull that serial number off, and you'll look at it and go, I have no idea what these numbers and letters mean. So, for example, my iPad is Scott's iPad. Joey's iPad is Joey's iPad. Rich's phone is Rich's phone. That's the way we set it up. You want to name them however you want. If it's iPad number 1 and phone number 2, or Jenny's iPad and Susie's iPhone and Bob's Android phone, just like that. Okay. Yeah. All right, programs. We've gone through programs already. Again, you can add as many as you want. Once you're done with them, if you want to archive them after a year, you can do that, and they will be available to you to look at, but you won't be adding any more mileage to them. It's just a way to obviously archive it and keep that in your system without having to worry about accidentally opening it up.
Right.
Hey, let's check something out right now. See down where it says archive programs, and there's that question mark. There's also one up at active programs. You'll see these question marks throughout the whole thing. What that is if you click on it, it's going to open another page, and it will tell you exactly what's going on there and give you a little video to show you how it's working. It's just one of those little support features that we have built into the program. If you have a question, look for the question mark, click on it, it's going to tell you. Okay? When we're talking about that, let's look down in the lower right-hand corner. See that button? That is our chat button. We have an IT team that is in Monday through Friday between 8 and 5 Eastern time. And you ask them a question and they will answer it. They can send you, again, videos, or they'll just chat with you to tell you what you need to do and help you work through any problems you might have. If they're not in, back in the lower right-hand corner of that chat, you see way down there, little tiny letters, FAQ. You can look up stuff through that FAQ, and again, you'll get more videos, and you can usually find whatever your answer for your question you have right there if our IT team does not happen to be in.
Yeah.
Okay?
One other last thing here is the teal box up here while we're on programs. That's how you toggle in between your programs to view the one that you want to actually view.
Yep.
So it wasn't letting me archive this one because I was using it actually. So now I hit archive and I can go and view it later on.
There we go. All right, QR codes. This is the big question. Choose your size. Choose who you want to print. Choose your labeling options. Hit download all students.
Oops. And we've got to add some. We added them to the other program that we just archived. So all you have to do is go back here.
Create your class.
We'll just copy these names again, just for example. There we go. Quick and easy. And now we'll go back to QR cards. Follow the prompts. And that's why this is very important up here in selecting the correct program. You'll learn from my mistake.
Normally we have this all set up. We just click through, but today we thought, let's just go all the way through it. It comes up with a download PDF, and that's what they're going to look like. When printing them out, because you can print out as many of these as you want yourself on preferably white paper, black and white. You can do it on colored paper, but it's best to have a light colored paper. White is best to keep those able to read the code.
Yeah.
Okay, there's got to be a fine contrast. Okay, you can print them. Say, you know, Joey likes to eat his card every 3 days, so I can go back in and reprint a card for Joey every 3 days when he needs it. Little Susie will be walking around the playground, and by the time she gets back to me, she's lost her card. We can reprint her one. We do offer hard cards. We'll show you those after a bit when we turn the cameras back on us, that you can purchase. They start at about 42 cents a piece, but you don't have to purchase those. You can print as many QR cards on your own as you'd like, okay?
So next we'll go to Teams, and I'll just quickly add team 1, teacher, we'll do none there, team 2. And now, we've got team 1, add students, select the class that they're going to be coming from. Hit OK, after you check them, and now they're in there, and now I can go to team 2, select the class that they're in, and add the rest of them in.
You could do multiple classes to make those teams up too.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be just one class. This is all we have in this particular program at the time. Okay?
Right.
Finally, users.
So one thing that you might have noticed down when we did our classes, the only teacher that I could actually assign was myself, which isn't always the case. So what you're going to be able to do is go add to user, and let's say this is actually Scott's class. Full access, create user, and now when I go back to classes, edit class info, I can actually assign Scott to his correct class.
Mm-hmm. And you can do that with all the teachers in your school. But when you're setting those teachers up, you're going to want to think about the level of access each teacher has. So let's take a look at that. I got full access because Joey and I are both the administrators of this program. But let's say that he was the one who's going to be the administrator and I'm the first grade teacher, and I just say, yeah, I'd like to use this program when I can. You don't necessarily want everybody to have full access, be able to edit everything and change stuff around. So maybe most teachers, you might just want to give the next level, which is scan, view, and edit, which means they can only do any sort of editing on their own class, whatever you assign them.
Right.
They can't go into somebody else's class, say they're having a contest, who's going to win, and you don't want them to do that. You can, they can just scan it as their own class. Okay. There's other levels. The other one is just scan and view. They don't have any editing permissions at all. Thank you.
But they're allowed to view what their progress is
They
like.
can see what there is. And then there is scan only. And this one definitely goes for what's called a shared user. A shared user account is that generic account that, say you have several adult volunteers coming in, parent volunteers, you're just going to give them the shared user account. And what it does is it assigns an email. Just give them the email. It doesn't really go anywhere. Make up a password that you'll remember, and you can tell them, okay, download the Easy Scan 2 app on your device, and then you'll sign into it with this. And once they sign in, they can scan all they want. They're not going to see any kids' information, but all the information they scan is going to be able to come to you. And again, you can have as many users as you want. If you have just 2 people in your school, that's fine. But if you have 500 parents who show up weekly and they all want to scan, you can literally have 500 people scanning.
Mm-hmm. And they can all have their own device using them all at the same time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's an unlimited number. There's up to 1,500 students that the program will run, but users is unlimited, as are the courses and the programs. We try to make this as simple and easy for you as we can.
So now you kind of have seen the basic overview here. Now I'm going to get into a real school that's all set up real quick. So let me get to that one. And we're also going to show you the whole scanning process as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I'll have to stop this one in a minute. So just to show you guys real quick, so here's fall 2018. You can see I've got several classes in here. They've all got different mileages. I can click on these, see their entries, see awards, participation. The print button is all there. You can see and edit my school. I actually have several awards set up on this one. Multiple award levels, mini courses, classes, all of that good thing. So just to give you kind of an overview of what it looks like when you've got a big school set up, when it's all completed. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing this, and we will share our iPad with you. Okay, we'll get to some scanning. There we go. Yeah.
Okay, so now you can see that iPad on the screen. First thing to always remember, see this blue Sync Now button? That's a real good button to get to know. Whenever you're about to go scan, before you lose your Wi-Fi, click that Sync Now button. What that does is if you've made any changes in your EasyTally database, once you hit that Sync Now button, it makes sure all that information in the EasyTally database is now in your device. Okay, whether that's a student's name, you've added some names, or you've changed the mileage, started a new club, a new course, new program.
Added a lap to their account.
Added a lap, that will be in here for them. Okay.
Otherwise, if you don't sync before you begin, it's not so you set everything up, you don't hit sync, a student scans their card, nothing is going to happen.
Right. Right. And the reason we've done this, we usually have this question, I'm going to answer it right now, is about having Wi-Fi. No, you don't need to have Wi-Fi to scan. And the reason for that is that so many schools do not have Wi-Fi outside. They have limited Wi-Fi. That just happens for everybody. This way it makes it easier. You can scan wherever you're at. That information stays in your device. When you get back to where there's Wi-Fi, hit the Sync Now button, boom, you're in. You're good to go.
Yeah.
Okay?
Do you want to run through maybe settings? To
Yep,
show
settings right here is the next button you want to know. In here, you can install, you see your themes. For example, I've got Pirates, and let's add Coach, and I'll say, okay. I'm gonna say I've got, Coach, you know what? I want to have Pirate this time. So I'm gonna put Pirate, okay. My device name is on there. You can see the orientation. That means how is the camera going to set? Is it going to be front, back, up, sideways? Hit my save settings. And I'm good to go. One more thing before we leave this. Send data, send logs. If our IT guys ever need that information from you, have a problem or something, those are the buttons you push. It sends the information to us.
they can likely recover your data if they have to using that tool.
Yep. Hey, not to confuse you, but I'm going to jump to this real quick. A lot of times people will say, look, it says I have unsynced data. I don't want to log out. You can log out. It will save that data. It's not going anywhere. Log out, log back in, sync the data. It's there.
It's good to go, yeah.
Okay, so let's start a session here. So I'll press Start Session. It's going to ask me, which program are we currently using?
Very important to remember.
Yeah, remember that. So you got the right one. What are we using?
Fall 2018.
Fall 2018. We'll hit Continue. The course,
You can do Indie on this one.
we'll do Indie. Okay. And we're ready to start scanning. Let's get some cards ready here. Buddy.
Yeah.
All right.
Away we go.
Here we go.
One, heave, one, no need to part, one,
So you can see how quick it's going.
one, don't be
That
dropping
one,
anchor,
see I have it
One.
upside down
keep
even.
it up, me hearty,
This one I'll hold sideways.
one,
One, I'll put my finger
You're
in front
one
of a
fast
little bit and
landlubber.
see if we'll scan. Yep. So it's very
One.
quick, very
ye be leaving
flexible.
the scurvy beetle drats
The
behind,
scan delay on this course is actually 1 second, so that's why it's allowing us to scan, just for
One.
example, so you can see how
ahoy,
quick it
great
moves.
start,
But typically, it would say scan too soon if
Two.
it actually wasn't going to work.
Arr, you're doing great, bucko,
I'm not getting it.
And the theme,
three,
you can turn that off. It's
way
completely
to go.
optional.
Two,
One thing to note here,
way
you're
to
like,
go.
why in the world they've got one lap but 18 miles? The distance is actually their total distance achieved in this program. So that is another reason with the syncing why that is important. It'll add that up for you after each session and everything.
Mhm.
And then the laps, that's just current for that day on that device, we should say also.
Yep.
So I could actually have my device up, scanning, going, and everything all at the same time. Let's say Cyborg Superman scans to this
Three.
one. He's got 3 laps here. He scans to
Look at
mine.
that go.
Now he's going to show 1 on this device, even though he's got 3 on this one. However, he stops at that lap. We both sync. Now, when you go to the computer, he's got 4 laps actually.
Yeah, that is one thing. The devices will not talk to each other in the field. And again, that's because of not having any Wi-Fi. But once you go back and you sync them, all that data is there. So I'm going to stop scanning now. We can be done with this. Are you sure? Okay. And here it comes.
Well, wait a second, because we know there's a delay on your guys' end.
Yeah. I'm going to hit the sync now button.
And there we go. So his is ahead of this, so I'll just stop sharing this one. But
Yep.
So he's syncing the
It's syncing.
data.
All that data is going to show up in our database. And if you haven't figured it out by now, EasyScan actually is comprised of 2 separate systems, 2 separate parts, excuse me, that make one system. EasyTally is the online database. EasyScan is the app. It's called EasyScan 2. Thank you, Apple, for making us do it that way. But EasyScan 2 is the app you'll download on the App Store or Google Play Store.
So Cyborg Superman was one of the ones that scanned a lot. So let's just see. Yep, December 12th, 2019, about this time. Here was his laps. That's when they came in. You can edit those. You can delete them. You can add laps to it if you have to. So let's say you missed a scan. You can manually add laps. Let's say the kids are doing something at home at night and they want to get that counted towards their easy scan. You can have them do that, add them in later as well.
Mhm.
Next, you would probably go to like awards, for example, and any awards that they've achieved, you can see easily. So I'm just gonna go, let's just rub it, Jar Jar Binks. I can mark that one off. Move down. That's all right, we'll just keep going up here. And now it's purple. I know that section has been completely given. I don't need to go back. You can also look at the participation and you'll see the toe tokens, of course,
Mhm.
mark the days that they participated, and it's gonna tally that up for you as well.
Mhm.
And something very neat is you can actually print all of this out. So if you go to print your awards list, it's gonna display it like that. You hit print and you do everything, generate, and it will actually, let me just show you now. Download, and I'll let it think for a second. And let's just make it think I'm doing all that. Do you want to mark off all awards as being presented? You can hit OK. And come back. Let's see. And it should mark them all off for you. I think I only did, I didn't do it correctly, but you go ahead and do that, mark them off, and once you actually generate it, it will mark them all off for you. I just skipped a step there.
Yep.
The certificates as well are there.
Print them there, yep.
Last but not least, we got the stats here, which is going to be very important for reporting to your admins, showing the students how they're moving forward with their progress, or even parents for that matter. We've got leaderboards here, which a lot of people like to do these on the bulletin boards. We've seen that a lot.
They'll print them out, put them up on the board.
Yeah, so you can do that, top 25 by grade, class, team, all of that sort of thing. Go back to stats and go to view reports. Now this is going to be a very helpful tool as well. And you can run your reports by the groups that you're using. Select the range of dates that you want them ran from. Just kind of messing around with it here. I've got a report pulled up here for an example. So you can see this is kind of one that, what it would look like. I did a lapse report, and you can see the dates that I had selected there. So that's about 2 years worth of data. It's going to tally it all up there, and you can print that right out. All right.
Okay, I think that's just about every part of it. I know it's really quick, but it's actually very easy to go through, as I hope you've seen. So now let's go